Testing 1 2 microphone check. Should be all good. Testing 1 2 microphone check. Brilliant. Yeah, there we go. We're all good to go. So yeah, so with today's lesson, okay. Is there some sound now? Sorry, I didn't have my phantom power on. There should be sound now, hopefully. Yep, very sound. I could turn it up. Sorry about that, everyone. Can we hear sound now? Brilliant. Yeah, well, I'll just say that discretion again. Yeah, if you're under 18, please tell your parents you are doing this. Please feel free to ask questions and make comments, but stay safe online by just using your first name. And don't give out any contact details. And I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. I didn't realize I didn't have. There's a little thing I need to press there for phantom power for this microphone here because it is what's called a condenser microphone. So yeah, hopefully we're all good to go now. So I'll just repeat what I said in that intro before we had some technical difficulties. So today we're going to be looking over riffs, in particular guitar riffs. And hopefully by the end of today's session, we'll be playing some of our first riffs of our own. So there's a few songs we're going to be looking at just to get us going, some nice simple ones. I won't say them all for now because I'll give them out as we go on to keep some excitement. But one of them is a little one that goes like this. I'm sure you'll all know it. There's one there, and then I've got a little pedal down there. It's a little octave, so it turns my electric guitar into a bass guitar, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so today we're going to be looking at a song called "Smells Like Teen Spirit." And we're going to be looking at how to play that. Basically, we're using the chord progressions that we've been doing in previous weeks. So the E position and the A position. Okay, yeah. So just before I get started, I'd just like to make sure we are all in tune. So I'm just going to go through my strings now, and you match your strings to my strings. So here we've got my low E. So if you want to go ahead and match your tuning to that, I'll play it one more time. We're going to go ahead and play the fifth string, so the low A. And we'll do it again. And then we'll move on to our D string. I'm hoping you guys were already in tune, but we'll just do this anyway. And going on to our G string. And nearly done, onto our B. And last but not least, our high top E string. Right there, brilliant, guys. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to move this and put that there. Right, yeah, so I thought we'd just do some quick warm-ups today, get everyone in the mood, get everyone's fingers nice and stretched. I've got a new warm-up today we can try as well, which is a nice fun one. It's called a hammer-on technique. But we'll get into that in a minute. So we'll just start with a nice simple one. We'll just start with a chromatic ascending we'll start from our note A. So we're going to count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to do a chromatic ascending. So going up, we're using all our fingers. And we're going to go up the neck. Okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And to the D. 2, 3, 4. And moving on to our D string. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, And 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be all. And I just want to go into a quick tonal stretching exercise. So we'll keep on this A string. So if you're on the 5th fret, like so, I'll just move this screen down so we can get a better view, potentially. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to do our first finger, or our index finger, is going to be on the 5th fret on the low E string. So we're going to go, and then we're going to move up a tone. So we're going to put our second finger on the B string, on the low, on the B note, on the low E string, and we're going to move up with our ring finger on the note C sharp, and we're going to finish on E flat. And we're going to do this up and down the neck, like so. And what this does is just stretches out all those tendons in your fingers and your hands, and gets you moving up and down the neck, gets you feeling a bit more comfortable and confident. And if you're feeling comfortable, what I'm doing there, that's called vibrato. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting my finger and I'm doing a little shake. It's a little bit easy to do on an electric guitar, as like I'm playing today, but you can still be achieved relatively easy on an acoustic there. So just give it a try. So what I'll do is just get my finger, just give it a little wobble like that. If you try it when you're doing all your fingers, it's good. You're practicing 2 skill sets at once, so it's really good for things. So I wanted, but firstly, I thought we'll do like a little call and response rhythm technique. So I'm going to go, and then you repeat. So we'll go, and. So that's going to be serve the purpose for the basis of the rhythm for our first riff that we're going to be attempting. It's a song called Wild Thing by a band called The Trogs, which is a really, really old song, really cool rock and roll song. And it sounds a little something like this. So we're going to be in the key of G. So we're going to get our hands on the G chord. So if you are familiar with the G chord, we'll go back to basics. You want to put your first finger on the 2nd fret on the A string on the note B, and our middle finger wants to be on the 3rd fret there on that note G, and then these two want to be here on the top. So little pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret, and our ring finger on the 3rd fret on the B string. It's going to sound a little something like that. And then our second chord for this song, The Wild Thing, is going to be the chord C. So we're going to put our first finger. I'm going to approach this like people don't know C chords, so stay with me if you already know this, and but we'll just try and make sure everyone's keeping together. So we're going to put our first finger on the note B, on the 1st fret on the B string. We're going to put our second finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, and then our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret on the A string. So it's going to sound a little something like that. And then last but not least, a 3-chord song. This is brilliant, one of my favorite songs. It's going to be the chord D. Okay, so we're going to put our first finger on the 2nd fret on the G string. We're going to put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string. And we're going to put our 2nd finger there, just slide it on there on the 2nd fret of the high E string. So it sounds a little something like that. And all together, so when I did that little rhythm exercise with you all, of the din, 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 that's going to serve the purpose for this song. So it's going to sound a little something like this. So what I'm doing there, so this song is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting it twice on the G, and then twice on the C, and twice on the D, and then last but not least again back to the C. And once you've got that together, I'll give you a minute to try and get that. It's going to sound a little something like this. Wild thing, you wild thing. So that is our first riff that we've attempted. Really simple one, but really memorable and sticks in your head. And so I want to have a little talk about what a riff is. I'm sure all of you can sing to me and hum to me loads and loads of riffs, and that's brilliant. But it's great to be able to identify what a riff is. Now, a riff is usually a short phrase, a short musical phrase, which has some notable repetition that we can all cling on to, and you can sort of remember it. It sticks in your head. Well, the good ones do anyway, that's for sure. So yeah, so basically that sort of sums it up. So G, C, D, and back to C, and G, and C, and D, and C, and G. So that's our first riff that we're going to be looking at. Now, the second riff I wanted to look at is a song by a band called The White Stripes, and it's a song called Seven Nation Army. And the reason I chose this one is just because we're going to stick to all one string on this, and we're going to try and get everyone playing, try get everyone feeling comfortable and confident, moving up and down the neck, but still keeping an element of simplicity by we're going to stick on one string. So this song, Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes, a really famous song. I've got a little pedal down here called a micro pog, which enables my guitar to sound like a bass or a 12-string guitar, whatever I want it to do. So this is my guitar normally. This is it on. It sounds pretty cool. And I thought this song, Jack White of the White Stripes, who wrote this song, he wrote this song on guitar, but if you listen to the record, it sounds like a bass. And all he's doing now, he's got a pedal called a Digitech Whammy, and he's got it down an octave basically, so it sounds like a bass. So you can have all the elements of a guitar with the sounds of a bass. So we'll get straight into this one because it's going to take a little bit more time, I think. So with this one, what you want to do is it's all on this A string here. It's on this low A. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide up on this A string till you get to the 7th fret or the note E. So count up 7. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that's going to serve the purpose of our first note. Okay, so we're going to go E, E twice, okay? And then our second note, we're going to slide up to the 10th fret. So it's going to sound like a little something like this. So I'm playing there. I'm playing my pinky. You can play your pinky. You can slide up to it. I don't mind, whatever you feel comfortable. The purpose of this session, I just wanted to get everyone starting to play riffs and having fun. So I'm going to slide up to that 10th fret, but I'm going to play that 10th fret with my pinky, but you can slide up to it. I'll slide up to it with you if you want. So we're going to go E, E, G, yeah, E, E, G, and then back down to E, and then I'm going to slide down to our 5th fret, and then so it's going to go down, 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 down. That's going to serve the first bit of it. And then once you get to this note, and then we're going to go down to so that's on the 5th fret there. We're going to go down to the 3rd fret on our note C, and then it's going to finish off on this 2nd fret on the note B. So all together, it's going to sound a little something like this. And this bit that I've just done there. So once we get to that bit, we're going to go, so you've just got this bit, E, E, G, E, D, C, G, E, E, G, C, D, C. So I'm on 3rd, and then going to go back up to the 5th. So 3, 5, 3, 2 in terms of frets. Okay, so I'll give you all a moment to get that. I'll just keep playing it. we go. So hopefully you are all involved with that and sort of coming along with that nicely. So there's another little section to this song. Well, in fact, there's 2 more sections, but we'll get onto those. So the next section, when it goes like this. So we've got this one, and then we've got a last little section that goes on here. So we are going to move to this one, but it's really simple, just on our note G. So it's on our 3rd fret on our low E string. By the way, guys, if I'm moving too fast, please feel free to put your comments in below. So we're going to go E, G, 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 G. So I'm doing all downstrokes with my pick there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to slide it up to our note A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like that. So it's going to go. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. And that is the main sort of bulk of that song. And now once we get into the chorus, it's got the power chords. Remember, we have been looking briefly over some power chords in last week's and the first week's lesson. But if you didn't tune in for them, that's fine. Don't worry about that. A power chord is a really simple way of playing a full chord. But instead of you playing all the notes, you're getting the root note. So in this case, E. And we're going to play what's called the 5th. So when I say the 5th, don't be getting a little bit confused. All it means is it's the 5th note of that E scale. Like that. Okay, so it's going to sound a little something like that. And this is the chorus. And what Jack White does in this chorus section is he just adds in a power chord, like that, just to give it a little bit more depth and a little bit more grit. And we're playing exactly the same things. We're sliding up, so we're going to go 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2, 7, 10, 7, 5, like that. Okay. So we've got our verses, which is just the one note, which is 7, 10, 7, 5, 4, 3, 5, 3, 2. And then remember going on to our low string for the last bit of that riff, which is the G. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it goes to our nice beefy chorus where you can add that power chord if you're feeling comfortable enough to do so, where we're going to go. On the low G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like so. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can take that concept and you can have a little go. What I could do during the week is I can post a little video of that just to get a little bit of a close-up on the neck so you can see a bit more in detail what I'm doing there. But anyway, I would like to move on because we have got another song to get through, and this is a song that I've been really looking forward to, and I'm going to turn this pedal off for now because we don't need it anymore. So this next song I wanted to get through Smells Like Teen Spirit. The reason I chose this song is because it has the chord positions that we've been learning. So it has the E position. So remember the E position, and it has our A position bar chord. Okay, and this song is a really cool song, and it's got the movements are fairly simple, so hopefully I'm hoping we'll be able to get it. So I'm just going to give a little demonstration and then we'll break it down, slow it up, and hopefully by the end of this we'll all be playing Smells Like Teen Spirit. So it's going to go. Okay, so it sounds a little something like that. And what we're going to do with this song is we're gonna attempt to do it with our E position bar chord and our A position bar chord. So again, I'll get into, if you want to hear last week, I'll just get into these A position bar chords because they can seem a little bit tricky. So effectively, what you want to do is you want to fret your A like you would do normally, but instead of using your first finger to do it like so, you want to use these three fingers. So you can do it like this. Or you can do it like so. So you can have this fretted and these three this finger could be fretting those three notes there. Or my personal favorite, the one that I use, is the most comfortable for me, is I use my pinky like so. And if you want to look at the back there, I'm applying pressure. So the work is all that you get these notes. So if you're getting something like this, it might be something to do with you might not have your finger flat enough, or you could not be applying enough pressure here between your index finger and your thumb. That's very vital for playing bar chords. Once you've tackled getting that pressure right, like so, you'll start to find a lot more clarity in those notes like that. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, back to our song. So with this Smells Like Teen Spirit song, so if you are struggling to get these full chords down, just to get people playing and get this rhythm sorted, I'm gonna say let's play power chords. So remember, the power chords is you play your root. So in this case, it's our low F there. That's going to serve our first note, and then you're going to take your ring finger and place it there on the note C, on the third fret on the A string. That's going to give our power chord, like so. So with this song, the strumming pattern is fairly simple. It's not, once you start to break it down, slow it down, you'll find that it's fairly okay and people can do it. So it's going to sound like this. So it's going to go down, up, down, chicka, chicka, down, 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 up, down, chicka, chicka. So it's going to go down, up, down, down, up, down. So get that thing in your head. So going down, up, down. Okay. Once we've done that, it's going to go. So there, yeah. So it's here, when I move down to this second chord, this second power chord, if we're doing it like that, or if you're doing it like this, the full chord, that's brilliant. But if we're doing it in the power chords, we're going to put our first finger on the low A string on the first fret, so on the note B flat, and we're going to put our ring finger on this there, on the D string, up 3. So it's exactly the same as there. It's mirrored on there, but all I'm doing is I'm jumping these fingers down. So it's going from there to like so. So there's not much of a jump, even though these chords, the transitions move fairly fast. I think it's something we could definitely, it's definitely within our skill reach, and we can attempt it, I think, with some ease, hopefully. So anyway, back to it. So it's going to go do. So do. And then we're going to slide up to our 4th fret on this note, which is a G sharp. So we're going to go, so it's going to go do, and then same rules apply. So our first finger on the low E string on the 4th fret, and then our ring finger needs to be on this note here, E flat, on our A string. So that's the 6th note up. So okay, so it's gonna go, and then up there, So it's like boom. So then it's just down on this last chord as well that we're doing. So we're going to slide up 4, sorry. So it's there is our bass note. It's a C sharp, and then there is our other note for our power chord. So on the 6th fret on the D string, and on the 4th fret on the A string. So that's just the last one there is just going to go down twice. It's going to go down. So in context, it's going to sound a little something like this. I play it at a nice slow down pace so everyone can follow. I'm just going to gradually get a little bit faster. So get that chicka chicka sound. What I'm doing there, sorry, I should have explained this prior, but what I'm doing there is I'm taking the pressure off the strings to get this sound. So my fingers are what's called muting these notes. So it's going fret, so fretting, I'm applying pressure, so going, taking pressure off, taking pressure off, pressure on, off, pressure on, so hopefully you'll have that in your head. So we'll go. So if you want to do this in full chord format, it's going to sound a little something like this. So we've got our full chord, full triad there of F major. So we're going to go. So it's going to sound a little something like that. And so that song goes, you've got an intro of, and then the drums come in, and then it's in full blast. Kurt Cobain usually uses some kind of distortion or fuzz or something, so it might sound like, so you got your clean sound like this. So I'm just looking at my pedal board, so it's like. So that could sound a little something like that. And then it goes into a section of the verse, which has just got this nice low bass running through. So it'd sound a little something like this in the track. Load up on guns and bring your friends. It's fun to do. So that, and all Kurt Cobain is doing in this section here, there's a cool little riff that he does, and it just finds our way here. So we take our first finger. The brilliant thing about this riff is it only requires 2 notes. So all we do is we pick our first finger there, and we're going to put it on the note C on our high B string, so the 2nd string, and then it's also going to be fretting this top E one here, so it's going to sound like that. So in context, it's going to be sounding a little bit something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going on 2 and 3. So I'm going 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it progresses and starts to build up some tension. It starts to go on every beat. So it's like. So what I'm doing there is I'm taking that note C on our B string, I'm plucking there. So I'm going. So it sounds a little, in context, it would sound a little something like this. So that serves that section. And now the chorus has one more really cool section in it, which has a bend. Now, don't worry if you haven't done bends before, but we'll give it a go because they're really fun to try and attempt. And I'm a firm believer. I've always said this in my guitar lessons that it's always good to do stuff out of your skill reach, because if you attempt and it goes wrong, you're only going to get better the more and more you do it and the more you try and implement it into your playing and your practice. Okay, so it's got the chorus. I'm going to do a very bad rendition of this chorus. Forgive me. So it's going to go, with the lights out, this is dangerous. Here we are now. So on the B and the fourth fret, I feel stupid, and the F and the B, and contagious. Here we are now, entertainer. So this is the new section, yeah. So I'm going to go 3 on F. So what I'm doing there is just the very same shape on the chord, but sliding up one. So I'm going, yeah, yeah. And if you're feeling confident and comfortable enough, it's got this cool little guitar bend. And the way I would approach doing a guitar bend, if you've not done it before, is like so. So the note we're going to be bending in this song is here. It's our note B flat, our little friend B flat. So what we're going to be doing, so with this one, you're going to be using your ring finger to bend. I always find that's one of the easiest fingers to bend, or when you're starting to think about bending notes. And what I mean by bending notes, so I've got our note there of B flat, but if I bend that up, so I'm bending that up a whole tone. So that's going to this note of C. So I'm bending that B flat up to the note C and back down. Okay. And so the best way to do this is you're going to pluck your string once as you play the note. So you're going to go, and then with that, once you've got some sound from that note, like so, you're going to take this finger and just push up the neck. Okay, like so. So it's going to go like that. Now, a good way to practice these is just to, so that's the whole tone bend. And if you can't get to that whole tone, if you can only get, so this note here, so bending up a semitone, don't worry about it, just practice these bends. Or you can bend down. So whatever you feel most comfortable. If you feel more comfortable going up the neck like that, or if you feel more comfortable going down the neck like that, it's the same concept. So all we're doing is taking that note and gliding it up to another note, basically. And all that does is just kind of creates a really cool sound. So in context, that's going to go something like, so I've got the chorus. With the lights out, this is dangerous. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. Yeah, to ever do. So it's gonna go, yeah. It's gonna sound a little something like that, so it sounds pretty cool. So yeah, with that bend, you can bend, like I said before, you can bend up or you can bend down. But what you're looking for is that transition between those two notes. So that B flat, getting that B flat to C. Like that. So yeah. So really, yeah, we've got our power chords of F, and we've got our second power chord, if you were doing power chords, of B flat, and then we've got up on the fourth fret here, we've got our power chord of G sharp, and then last but not least the C sharp, and then the other notes in it just at the end of the chorus or the post chorus is going 1 2 3 4 1. 1 2 3 4 1. 1 2 3 4 1. So do. Like so, yeah. So yeah, so have some fun with that, guys, and remember, if you're struggling with fretting some of these notes, if you're trying to do it in full chord format, like so, either revert back to the power chords, like so, or you could just kind of just sit with it a little bit longer, and just the best thing you can do is just to practice on that chord. So just take your hand off, put your hand on, sorry, and then take your hand off and try get back to it like that, like so. So I'm going to look at my notes, get my fingers in position like so, take them off, get them back in position. And that's a really good way of getting that chord and that chord shape straight into your head, and straight into your head and out of your head onto the fretboard, like so. Okay, so remember, we've got that section and we've got our riff 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, like so. It's on the 3 and the 4, like so. Yeah, so yes, have some fun with that, guys. And if you have an electric guitar and you're fortunate enough to own an amp and it has a distortion on it, stick a distortion on it, and annoy your neighbors for not too long, I would say, because we are living in times of quarantine. But yeah, it's great fun, isn't it? It's great fun. Yeah, so I just want to take this time now to ask if there's any questions anyone would like me to go over anything again. Please feel free to ask. Please feel free to comment in the things now. I've got just a few minutes just to have a look. If anyone's got anything, if everyone feels relatively comfortable and happy, then that's brilliant stuff. And if people have any song suggestions, because these are only my ideas of what people should be playing, and the best way to get people playing and to enjoy your instrument is if you're playing something that you want to learn. So please, now is the time. If you've got any song suggestions that you want to learn, please feel free to put them in the comments, because I thought next week, we've been learning some songs. I thought next week I would like to start touching upon rock school grades. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. I'm going to start at grade 1 and get people up to scratch, and we're going to start looking at some grades alongside like learning songs as well. So you've got a little bit of theory, and also you've got a little bit of fun with learning songs, because I don't see learning an instrument as a total academic process, but it does serve a purpose for academia. And if you ever want to go to music college or anything like that, if you get these rock school grades, they count towards UCAS points and things like that. Yeah, so cheers for watching, guys. I'll see you all next Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Bye for now.